we just got news that Governor Andrew Cuomo will resign. And when I seen this, I was a little shocked because a couple days ago, he had put up a statement that said that he's not going to resign because he knows he didn't harass any females. Like, he knows he didn't do anything wrong. And he's going to continue to stand strong for this or whatnot. I don't know if the man did anything. I personally don't know if the man harassed anybody or whatnot. People nowadays are very, and let me stress clearly, very soft. Motherfuckers be bitching and complaining about everything. I'm not gonna say it was true. I'm not gonna say it was not true. I'm not gonna go here and come on here and because I myself don't know much about the statements of these women that came forth and spoke against Andrew Cuomo. But coming from a Spanish culture, coming from a Hispanic family, we are very loving, and it could come off as being in the sense of being kind of too touchy, but that's just how, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna try my best to explain it. We're very, very loving. And there's many in different ways in which we show our love and just our appreciation. It doesn't even necessarily have to be love. It could be just our appreciation for you as an individual. There are many ways in which that comes in. There's many different packages for us Hispanics, and I'm just talking about Hispanics, but there's a lot of, there's a lot of similarities that we have with the Italian culture, for example, when it comes to that. Being very loving and whatnot. But yes, it's me myself being a Dominican man. I'm very loving. I am very somebody who when I want to show you appreciation, I like to show you it with words majority of the times. If we know each other very deeply, and if we're really close with each other, I'm the type of dude to give you a hug. I'm the type of dude to tell you that I love you and whatnot, or that I appreciate you and whatnot. So that can come off, I feel like, as harassment, because that's, as for example, the regular white person could come off as harassment. Literally. It could come off as like, oh, dude, why did you hug me like that? Oh my God. Like, why did you even bother on like touching me the way you touched me? Like, I don't understand. Why did you give me a kiss on my cheek like that? And it's like, it's stuff like that kind of has a misconception. Obviously, there are weirdos out there. There are people who are very, who actually want to physically touch you for their sake of being very perverted and whatnot. But then there's people who you have to like take in accountability, like where the person's from, I feel like, because it's like they didn't grow up like that. They grew up with a lot of love. They grew up with a lot of appreciation. So they're showing you that. They're telling, they're giving you what they grew up with because they trust you enough to do that. And I've heard, from what I've heard, there were a lot of these were women that he worked with. And I've been in jobs and I've been in places where the work that I was working, or the place that I was working in, all of us as workers, as employees, would get along pretty well, and well enough to where we felt comfortable with each other, to joke around with each other and stuff like that. Obviously, I personally, with my experiences, I've never been in a situation where like, oh, I would be touchy with a coworker. It's more so like comfortable enough to joke around a certain way. That's a little bit different than somebody who you just met or your first day at work, for example. So I feel like if I don't know much about the story and everything that's going on with him and his case, he might have probably even did actually harass people and was actually sitting around and doing what you're not supposed to be doing. But then it's like, keep that same energy with Donald Trump. You feel me? Like, Andrew Cuomo is not really considered a, he's considered more of a from the left leaning, it's not necessarily, doesn't correlate. A lot of people don't correlate him to more so like a right wing, but it's like when we had a right wing person in this same even worse predicament where there was more coming out than Andrew Cuomo's situation. Only obviously the leftists were pushing to like get this guy to resign, and that was Donald Trump. You feel me? But guess what the right was doing? They were being very quiet about it. So it's like, well, not everybody, obviously. This is not generalized, obviously. But I just want to give you a different outlook of the situation. There are very soft people out here, and this generation is very soft. There are people who didn't even grow up in this generation, who have just decided to purposely become soft in order to adapt to this generation. And it's stuff like that I just be like, come on, you know better, but you're doing it on purpose. You're catering to this generation, even though your generation was hard as fuck. And it's like, it's stuff like that, y'all. It's things like that I look at and I just be like, bro, whatever. Hey, man, thank God I'm not deeply devoted into a political stance. Thank the Lord I'm not. Thank the Lord I stay on the surface level of shit. You feel me? Because I feel like I would let it take over my mind a lot. And one thing that already does that is not sleeping well at night. So